Welcome to the Cerner Power Chart Radiology Training Series, video number 4. In this video, we'll focus on creating an admit history and physical, as some of our interventional radiologists may occasionally have to perform. Also creating a free text note, and then finally working with quick orders. So if you'll notice here, let's say this patient, if you want to see how I got here, go back and review the first 3 videos. But once I'm in this patient's chart and I want to create an HandP, you'll notice I don't have one of the types available. Only the 3 most common types are available. So I will say select other note. I have to select a note type. So I'll say history and physical. And then in the search window, I can type in history to narrow down the choices. There's admit HandP. If I want it to be a favorite, I click there, then it will be ultimately available here in this favorites tab. So there's no searching next time. I'll double click on that or click OK down here, whichever one's first. And now I'm in my history and physical update. Cerner is designed to take whatever information has previously been placed in the problem list, procedure and surgical history, medications, allergies, social history, and family history. It's designed to flow that and pre-populate that into your history and physical. So if you're dealing with a patient that has been to St. Dominic's maybe several times before, or has been hospitalized previously by the hospitalist service, cardiology service, then you'll likely see much of this pre-populated, which can save you some time. It's imperative that you take a look at it and make sure it's accurate. So you can just go to these different parts, pick up your Dragon's speech mic, or if you're using Power Mic Mobile. And you'll see here I'm using my iPhone again. Now it's ready to go. It's hooked up. And I can come here and just dictate it as I typically would. So ignoring the age of this patient, 67-year-old male presented to the interventional radiology department for a thoracentesis, period. Unfortunately, he suffered a pneumothorax, and he will be admitted for observation. And then here, I can use either, if I have a Dragon template available, I can use that, which I believe I do. Dragon ROS. Dragon PE. Note that those templates, Dragon ROS and Dragon PE, have been hard-coded into the system behind the scenes, so they're available for any user. And they are simply a copy of the Cerner keyboard-operated Autotext ROS Complete and capital PE Complete. They're the exact same ones. And these fields can be used with your hardwired mic or with Power Mic Mobile. Assessment and plan. You'll notice there's no way to type in here, but if you hover over, you'll see this little icon that says Insert Free Text. The assessment and plan is designed to feed in from the problem list of the patient. Nurses can put in problems, which problems are basically past medical history, but a diagnosis is what feeds into the assessment and plan on your history and physical. That's whatever condition is actively being treated. Since this patient has a pneumothorax, I would seriously doubt this would be in the system unless you went into the problem list and did it yourself. But for your purposes, I would simply just free text it in here, either using Dragon or or typing it. And then you could put in your plan and move from there. These things can be altered. You'll notice there's no place to type in here, but once again, if you want to put more information, you just hover over it and say insert free text. Same here. Because these areas are designed to feed in from the workflow. Same with family history. Once you're done, you sign, submit, and sign again. If, for example, you have a document that's sent to you by a nurse practitioner, you will have the opportunity to modify the note and sign it, and then both of your signatures would be recorded. When a nurse practitioner signs, she can put your name in there, just like I did on the last video. I demonstrated that. She can put your name, and then that patient will end up in your message center under the Documents tab. They'll be under here. Notice too, we have one for saved documents. So this is the message center. But to go back to the chart, I simply click on this tab. And if let's say I don't have a document there, but I want to modify it, put an addendum on it, I can go to the menu pane, click on documentation. I'm going to refresh this just to be safe. I'm going to click on my history and physical that I just performed. And if I wanted to put an addendum here, I simply right click, modify, and down here I have an addendum I can add to it. If there were things I disagreed with or something that maybe I inadvertently typed into the record, I can simply hover over these areas where there's a little X, and it X's out the whole area. If I want to undo that, I simply go up to this bar and click undo. So I can insert my addendum and sign. Okay. Now finally, let's talk about quick orders. So I'm working with a patient and I need to do any type of just routine orders quickly. I can go to this page, quick orders page, and click on any single order. And you'll see it highlights green. If I don't want to order it, I have to click it again. It highlights green. The shopping cart turns green. I click on it. If it's a one-off order, just a simple medication, lab, I can go ahead and sign it, and the order immediately becomes active in the system. Now let's say I'm performing a more complicated case, a procedure, where I need a power plan. If I were admitting this patient to the hospital, either to the floor or to the ICU, I can click one of these power forms. We used to call them I-forms in our old system. I'll click on this, but rather than sign it, you do not want to just sign it, you want to modify it. You're dealing with a whole collection of orders, and there may be some things you need to change or alter. So we click modify. And here's our order entry window. I'll blow that up. So what the quick orders are designed to do is give you an easy way to spot orders and open up the more detailed order screen that we're seeing here. If I just wanted to bypass the quick orders, if I knew what I was looking for and wanted to search for it, I could simply go to that menu bar here. I think I've got my field set to where I can't do that, so that's okay. I'd have to cancel this out, but it is located under this menu bar. So we used the quick orders. It brought us to this page when we modified, and you'll see several pre-checked statuses. When you see a blue X like that, it means you need to do an additional choice. So this is a resuscitation status. So if I click that and say full code, whenever I make a selection, it will automatically open a detail pane down here that will give me more options. If I want to get rid of this screen, which obviously I do, I can do one of two ways. I can go down here and click this, but that's extra mouse movement, because what you're basically doing is you're going up here, you're clicking full code, and then this screen is opening. So all you have to do is move your mouse here and click anywhere and it goes away. So you have the option to select vitals. You'll see the same thing. If I select, say every 4 hours, this screen comes up, and it is working a little slower in our build environment. This should be faster on the production environment. I flow through. You'll see some orders like this central line placement, or these tube feeds, feeding tubes, fluids. These are called subphases. They're essentially a power form within a power form. And if I click on one of these orders, let's say Common Concerns ICU, where I get a lot of common PRN medicines, it takes me out of that and brings me to another power form. You can see that in two different ways. First, I've got this bar up here that says return to the general ICU admission, or I can go to this view panel and I see that I'm in a subphase underneath my general ICU admission. I'm in the common concerns. So I simply make my selection. Say I wanted to give the patient some Zofran. I go back, click back to go back to my general concerns. Analgesia management. I can order some pain medicine if I wanted to, either some Tylenol, or let's say the patient needs some more powerful pain medication. And you'll see that's the default option, but I have other options. And when I get to the end of all of this, let's see, morning labs, there's a lot of different options here. When I get to the end, I have two steps. I can initiate, then sign. And the reason there are two steps is initiating the orders make them immediately active. Signing the orders will, as you would sign any type of order, they're signed. You don't have to deal with them again, but they're not immediately active until a nurse initiates them. We use that a lot for orders that are planned into the future. Cerner refers to those as planned orders. So if I just sign the order, click sign without initiating, then they're into a planned state, and a nurse can initiate those at any time depending on the instructions you've left in the order sets. But since these patients will be immediately going to the unit, you can choose to initiate, then sign. But here's one other powerful option. Save as my favorite. So you've made some selections, and let's say you want to keep this for future orders because you have certain things you like to have. You can keep the name if you want to, but I like to add my initials at the name. Say OK. And now I'll initiate, and then I'll sign the orders. Here's one last chance to view all the orders without all of the clutter. Okay, and they're signed. And you'll see we go back to the this page, just say done to get that out of the way. And you'll notice your quick orders page, it'll go back to your quick orders page, and that will update to show that those orders were signed. I told you earlier you can always go over here to the menu bar, go back to the orders page. You can click on orders here and see all your orders you currently have in progress. If you check one of these, uncheck it, that means it will discontinue the order. So if I wanted to stop something, I can uncheck it. It puts a line through it. I'll click up here to get that out of the way. Puts a line through it, and then I can say I can sign it. Now, earlier we had decided to save a favorite. So I'm in my order screen, so to create another order I can click Add, and you'll see the search bar where I can search for anything. I can type in RAD, which is all the radiology power forms start with that. And I can hit enter to get a far deeper search, which actually there's more here than on your quick orders. That's very important to know because there may be some you're looking for that you cannot find in your quick orders, but they're here. But we were talking about favorites, so I can do favorites. I can access this little star, and there it is. And when I click that order set on my next patient, it will automatically order all those things that I pre-checked, including the Tylenol, the Percocet that I had picked in that order set. All those things get checked. That's one way to do it. If I were back in my quick orders page, you can see over here new order entry. There's a way I can search, but I can also click that favorites. And here, I think because it has not been updated, that part I did not emphasize, but it does not auto update. So I'll click favorites again. And sometimes they don't show up right away here in this window. Sometimes this takes about 5 minutes to update, but that's another way you can find your favorites. So this video has gone on quite long, but this is the concluding video in our radiology training series. I hope you found this helpful, and please call me if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to meet with you and help further answer your questions. Thank you.